The Galactic Survival Academy's lecture hall hummed with the nervous energy of 200 students from across the Confederacy. Professor Ziltath, a Valorian with iridescent scales that shifted between purple and silver, stood before the holographic display showing a rotating planet Category 9 Death, unmarked and forbidden today, Ziltath announced, his voice resonating through the translation. We discussed the most dangerous classification known to Confederate space. Deathworlds are not merely hostile, they are actively antagonistic to complex life. Nathan Chen sat in the back row, his posture relaxed despite being surrounded by species that towered over him or possessed natural armor plating. Next to him, Helen Rodriguez was taking notes on her datapad, her expression focused. They were the only two humans in the cohort, Earth's newest additions to the Academy since their species had achieved FTL travel 3 years prior. Characteristic 1, Ziltath continued, pulling up atmospheric data. Toxic oxygen concentrations. Most Deathworlds contain oxygen levels between 18 to 25%, which is corrosive to tissue and accelerates aging. It's essentially breathing slow poison. Helen's hand shot up. That's just our atmosphere. 21% oxygen. A ripple of chittering gasps and concerned murmurs spread through the classroom. Professor Ziltath's scales flickered to a dark blue surprise mixed with concern. Yes, well, the professor continued uncomfortably. Humans are a noted exception. Moving on, characteristic 2, excessive gravitational forces. Deathworlds typically have 1.2 to 1.5 standard gravities, which places immense strain on skeletal structures and cardiovascular systems. Earth is 1.0 g, Nathan interjected calmly. What's standard gravity in Confederate space? 0.7 g, Ziltath admitted. Several students were now staring at the two humans with what could only be described as horrified fascination. The professor pulled up the next slide, showing a montage of terrifying predators. Characteristic 3, apex predators. Deathworlds breed creatures with advanced hunting strategies, pack tactics, and stop. Helen's voice cut through the presentation. She stood up, her 5'6" frame somehow commanding attention. You're describing my childhood. The lecture hall fell silent. Our family camping trips, Helen continued, her voice steady, involved watching for bears 300-kilogram predators that can run 48 kilometers per hour. For fun, Professor, we went into their territory for recreation. This student in the front row made a sound like air being released from a pressurized chamber, their species, equivalent of a terrified wheeze. Nathan stood beside her, and mountain lions, wolves, crocodiles, sharks, jellyfish with venom that can kill in minutes, spiders, scorpions, snakes. Wait, interrupted Ziltath, scales now a pale gray. Your planet has aquatic apex predators as well. Multiple species, Helen confirmed. Some over 6 meters long with rows of serrated teeth designed to tear flesh. And yes, people swim in those waters. Deliberately. The professor's claws trembled as he advanced the presentation. Characteristic for extreme weather systems. Deathworlds experience catastrophic atmospheric events, winds exceeding 150 kilometers per hour. Electrical storms, temperature fluctuations of 50 degrees or more between seasons. Helen sat back down, crossing her arms. We call those hurricanes, tornadoes, and monsoons. My grandmother lived through 5 hurricanes. She refused to evacuate for any of them. And winter in Canada drops to minus 40 Celsius. Nathan added. Summer in Death Valley hits 55 Celsius. People live in both places. A crystalline student near the middle raised a appendage. How does your species survive infancy in such conditions? We're pretty robust, Helen said with a shrug. Though I guess it's relevant that human children start developing immunity by literally eating dirt and being exposed to thousands of pathogens. It's how our immune systems learn. You deliberately expose your young to disease. Ziltath looked genuinely ill now, scales fluctuating rapidly between colors. Not deliberately, but yes, it happens. Nathan pulled up his own data. Professor, may I? Ziltath gestured weakly, and Nathan transmitted data to the main display. These are Earth statistics. Annual deaths from weather, 50,000. From predators, about 700,000. If you count mosquito-steeny flying insects that spread diseases. From our own planet's plants, 500,000. Some of our flora is extremely toxic. From other humans in conflicts, historically millions per year. The lecture hall had gone completely quiet except for the occasional translator, glitch, and shocked breathing sounds. And yet, Nathan continued, Earth's population is 11 billion and growing. We've colonized every continent, including one covered entirely in ice where temperatures reach -90. We've survived ice ages, supervolcano eruptions, asteroid impacts, and continental drift. We invented agriculture despite the fact that most wild plants are inedible or poisonous. We domesticated wolves, apex predators, into companions. We sail oceans filled with creatures that consider us prey. We do this, Professor, because it's Tuesday. Helen stood again. You want to know the really funny part? We pay money to simulate danger for entertainment. We jump out of aircraft with fabric parachutes. We climb sheer rock faces without safety equipment. We box at each other repeatedly as a sport. We dive with the sharks. We surf in hurricanes. We have an entire category of sports called extreme that are designed specifically to risk death for an adrenaline rush. A multi-limbed Kreshnik in the corner made a religious gesture. Your species is insane. Maybe, Helen acknowledged with a slight smile. Or maybe when you grow up on a Deathworld you get really good at not dying. Which, by the way, is why we're in this academy. You want to train for survival in hostile environments. We were born in one. We played in one. We thrived in one. Professor Ziltath sat down heavily at his desk, a gesture that transcended species, the universal sign of defeated exhaustion. I need to file an incident report with the Confederacy. They classified Earth as a Category 3 habitable world. Category 3? Nathan's eyebrows shot up. What would you classify it as now? The professor's scales settled into a dull brown resignation. Category 9, at minimum, possibly Category 10. Category 10 doesn't exist, a student protested. It does now. Ziltath looked at the two humans with something between respect and primal fear. Class dismissed. I need to speak with Confederate High Command, and possibly a therapist. As the other students filed out, some giving Helen and Nathan a wide berth, others approaching with awed curiosity, Helen turned to Nathan with a grin. Think we scared them? Nathan chuckled. We didn't even mention Australia, or that we invented nuclear weapons and somehow didn't drive ourselves extinct. Baby steps. Helen, baby steps. Outside the lecture hall, the two humans could hear Professor Ziltath on his communicator. Yes, High Command, I'm serious. We need to reclassify immediately. The humans aren't just from a Deathworld, they're from a death. There's a difference, a significant one. Helen and Nathan exchanged a look and walked toward the cafeteria, where they'd probably terrify the staff again by eating foods other species considered inedible. Just another day representing humanity among the stars. Just another day, being the friendly death.